Good morning, welcome to my garden here in Kingston. This morning I'm going to show you how to make an Easter garden. The story from the Bible, the biggest part of the Easter story is about the resurrection of Christ. It's when Mary goes to the tomb to care for the body of Jesus, but she finds the body is not there and the tomb is empty. So we're going to create that garden this morning using very simple things that we may all have around our garden. You just need either an old plate or one of these kind of saucers that come from garden centres that we use for pot plants. And first we're going to create some different levels. We're going to create a mound. And on our garden we're also going to put a cross, so that we can keep in our minds that on Easter Friday that Jesus died on the cross. So first of all we're going to put some soil. You can use various things to create the different textures. And then I'm just going to take some of the gravel from my garden and create another gravel area. And now I've got various sizes of pots. So this, we're going to use a pot like this just to represent the cave or the tomb that Jesus' body laid in. So we're going to embed that into our garden. Put some bits in there. You can use whatever you can find around your garden, bits of twigs or leaves, or so we have all these little bits of texture that we can incorporate just to give it the effect of a very rough, dry place, which this must have been in Jerusalem. So what are we going to add next? So we're going to put some greenery on top of the hill. This could represent the place in Golgotha where Jesus was crucified. Oh, there's a little slug. And then, do we need some more greenery? We can just chop some of this little conifer to create some more texture on our green hill. There we go. And then we can add some decoration. I've got some plastic flowers from, I think they're from the pound shop. We can just add these to kind of give an idea. The freshness and the flowers during Easter often give the feeling and the representation of new life, which is what we believe that Jesus gave us by dying on the cross. I'm going to add a little lamb that we've found in the house. It's another symbol of new life and little animals that may be wandering around this garden in Jerusalem. Don't think a carrot's needed. And then I've got some little fresh primroses in my garden. If you're going to cut any flowers, please ask permission of an adult. And then we can add these little flowers in. There we go. So the next thing we're going to add in the background are some crosses. I've got various crosses which I'll show you how to make this one shortly, but these are also useful. These are palm crosses which we usually receive in our Palm Sunday service, so these are from last year. So you can maybe strengthen these with some lollipop sticks, or you can make them a bit smaller, so then these crosses can sit in the scene also. There we go. We might need to prop our cross up with another rock. Part of the story of when Mary and the disciples go to the tomb to look for Jesus' body, they see some pieces of cloth that Jesus' body was wrapped in after his death. So we can create that with just using some little strips of fabric, or you could use toilet roll, but make sure you've got enough toilet roll before you go using it for your Easter garden. So I'm just going to fold this gently and we're just going to lay it there. Sometimes I've seen this Easter garden done created where the cloth is draped over the cross like this. So that's another way that we can add some more symbolism to our Easter garden. So there we have it. It's very simple. It's a little bit rocky. There is our Easter garden representing the resurrection of Christ. So just one other thing that we can add to our garden is to place a rock. If you can find a large pebble or a big stone or something, and then we're going to add this just next to the entrance to our tomb here, because also in the Easter story, Mary discovered that the rock in front of the tomb had been rolled away, which made her think that Christ's body was no longer in the tomb. So we're just going to add this as another piece of the story to our garden. And there we have it. So now that we have our Easter garden, we can use this to have some reflection time over the Easter holidays and to think about the meaning of Easter and why we are remembering Christ dying on the cross. We've lit a candle in front of our Easter garden. Children, please remember to be with a parent and they must light the candle. We're going to look at the story now in the Bible where Mary discovers that the tomb is empty. This is from the book of John, verse 20. Early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb and saw that the stone had been removed from the entrance. So she came running to Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one Jesus loved, and said, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have put him." So Peter and the other disciple started for the tomb. Both were running, but the other disciple outran Peter and reached the tomb first. He bent over and looked in at the strips of linen lying there, but did not go in. Then Simon Peter, who was behind him, arrived and went into the tomb. He saw the strips of linen lying there, as well as the burial cloth that had been around Jesus' head. The cloth was folded up by itself, separate from the linen. Finally, the other disciple who had reached the tomb first also went inside. He saw and believed. They still did not understand from Scripture that Jesus had to rise from the dead. Then the disciples went back to their homes, but Mary stood outside the tomb, crying. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb and saw two angels in white seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. They asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" "They have taken my Lord away," she said, "and I don't know where they have put him." At this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize that it was Jesus. "Woman," he said, "why are you crying? Who is it you are looking for?" Thinking he was the gardener, she said, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will get him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned towards him and cried out in Aramaic, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said, "Do not hold on to me, for I have yet to return to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them, I am returning to the Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went to the disciples with the news, "I have seen the Lord," and she told them that he had said these things to her.